Alright, continuing on here. Got those wheels off the other side. I've got the brake caliper off, if you can kind of see in the video. Oil. The boot on the CV axle is bad, so it's starting to click because, well, it's got no more grease left. Figured I'd take you along. Continue the trend of using this for what it's not supposed to be designed for when I have my... Not a sponsor, of course. Got my big Milwaukee here. See if we can take this axle nut off the CV axle. As you can see, I've done work on this before, and there is anti-seize on it. We are using a 35 millimeter. So as you can tell, we've got some adapters going on here. So it can be done. Let's see here, what we got? Oh yeah, it's not even seized in there. Good preventative maintenance. And the rest of this loop here is fluid film. I always, when I work on stuff for people, before I put I usually fluid film, clean it, if it's not new, shine it up, fluid film it, put the rotor on there, because the rotor comes off every time, easily. Anyway. I'm going to work on, I already got, that's a 22, got that released, tapped on that with BFH, and yeah, finished popping that free. It'll come forward, and then give it a couple taps to the CV axle, and it should slide out, and then CV axle will go that way, out towards the middle of the truck. Okay guys, working on 2009 Dodge Dakota, doing some CV axles, did the other side, and kind of the this is what we're using for the most part. Just bought it, RB1 Plus HP, not sponsored. Already loosened them all up, but so far, pretty impressed. Haven't, I mean, of course, it struggles. I mean, I got all the lug nuts off, didn't need any assistance. A couple of them, it did struggle on a couple of them, of course. I mean, it is only a 1/4 inch. It's only meant to be driving, you know, some lag bolts and whatever and whatnot. It's not meant to be dealing with hundreds of foot-pounds of torque. Well, I got you here running. Before we dive into it, the driver's side has a ABS wire. This side does not, so I don't have to worry about a line here. Pretty much the only thing you need for this job is 21 for the caliper bracket, a 22 for here, and a 35 for the castle nut. So, for the heck of it, this is the 35. Now these are supposed to be torqued to 175, 180, depending on what book you look at or what form you look at, somewhere between 175 and 185. I just did that side at about 180. No problem. And just in case, you know, we need it, you know, obviously not sponsored, I got my fuel here on standby, along with, you know, hand tools, breaker bar, or whatever. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get the bolts off the back, get that cotter pin out of that, and then we'll get to getting the CV axle here. Okay, we already got this loosened previously, got the bolts off the back 21s, we just have it hanging here off that for the caliper bracket. Took the 22, popped this loose here for the upper control arm. There are, yeah, you can kind of see it a little bit. Let's see here if we can't. There we go. Lots of different tools for this. Pop that free. I just revert to the my case, a little 4-pound BFH. Just whack on it. Harder you whack it, the less taps you probably have to put on it. But I usually leave it about about 4 threads, about a quarter, maybe a ½ inch of thread left. Catch it, and then just I've worked on this. I've done all the work to this customer's truck. But yeah, so this is already free. So then all we got to do is finish loosening this up. And then what we're trying to accomplish here. Let's see if we can't get you in there. Just trying to get the CV axle out. I don't think this is the greatest angle. Yeah, you can kind of see back in there. So I'm going to go ahead and slide the upper control arm off here. Bushings are nice and tight. There we go. And then all we got to do is take a hammer, get back there, give it a couple of taps. I leave the front. I leave this still kind of attached, so kind of the weight of this is kind of pulling the CV axle off the splines. There we go. And just like that, it pops right off. Perfect. Now what we're going to do is finish taking this off. The 35mm. Drop that off. Considering I've done most of the job with this at this point. And now that that's loose, that CV axle will slide out of here through the back and through the opening here. At least that's the intended goal at this moment. Fish it out of the hole there, and there it is. Grab your new one, reverse the process. Alright, and then for anyone interested, that's the part number we're using today. Comes with everything we need. Nice, shiny. So, I'm going to go grab, well, there's plenty of lubrication back there. I'm not going to throw any extra lubrication in there. I'm going to probably throw a little lubrication on this side here. 1 second. I pretty much use this for way too many things. It's great for everything I've done. You know, just trying to prevent some corrosion. So, you know, if and when you have to do the job again, it comes apart. You're not sitting there being like, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Ha ha ha, it's the next guy's problem. Well, come on, the next guy is probably going to be you redoing your own job. So, just kind of get in there, get it into the hub, get your spline, get your spindle lined up, slide it on there, straighten it out, make life a little easier the best you can. It's always the hardest part for me. There we go. And that's it. Throw the cowsel nut on, throw the bolt back on there. 180 foot-pounds. I don't know, I just tighten it up until I'm satisfied. Same with these. So I'll be right back with you on this. Making progress here. You got the got a little corner of the shop here is my scrap bucket full of oil filters, and kind of see them in there. CV axles, and I got rotors and brake shoes, and that all ends up going to the scrap yard because, you know, everything costs money. So every little bit that you can save and conserve and scrap and reuse, put money back in your pocket. I do all of those things. Yeah, it takes extra time. Yeah, it takes a little bit of extra work. But why not? You know, it's money. Alright, we got the CV at 180. Got the caliper bracket back on, the upper mount, all that done. Cotter pin. Set the wheel on here. So, I don't know what these are supposed to be at. I usually torque them to about 110. So I'll just zip them on. So, been pretty impressed. Can't complain about it. It's only had, used about a bar. When you buy it, I'll be doing a video separate, sort of. And, yeah, we're only down to use one bar. It's got a fun, it's got a little light, whatever. Good little tool. I'm going to go ahead and torque the lug nut, put it down, torque the lug nuts, and write the invoice up and ship it. Thanks for following along.